Yes. Yo, what's good, y'all? Back at it again with another reaction. And listen, when I saw that this one was gonna happen, I think like many other people, I never thought I would see this in my lifetime, but I am so happy that I am. The little teaser that they showed so far sounded sick. And listen, it's already been a week since I've done a reaction. I don't want to hold y'all too much longer. Let's get it. Yeah, this is what they played.
It's Luciano, Tony Soprano, come up like Pablo, not unlike Narcos, and I'm self-employed, never got furloughed, lobster with firm and don't work to.
Can we take a moment to talk about this beat? Cause this beat is just bugging off rip. They didn't waste no time.
It's Luciano, Tony Soprano, come up like Pablo, not unlike Narcos, and I'm self-employed, never got furloughed, lobster with firm and don't work to San Carlo. I got the big white towels, not Marvel. Walk in the room and I scan it like a barcode. They can never catch me lacking, that's a no-no. You want me incarcerated like I'm an outbro. Godfather, young De Niro, I could've killed him with my bare hands and done a Draco. Man tried.
And what I'm actually excited to hear is what Chip is gonna do on this, because this doesn't sound like a Chip beat. Like, this doesn't sound like the kind of beat where if I heard it, I would say, oh, it's a Chip type beat. I could kind of hear how Bugzy could be on this one, but Chip, I'm just excited.
Godfather, young De Niro, I could've killed him with my bare hands and done a Draco. Man tried violate like I'm a tomato. Man, I saying calm down me, I'm like nah, bro. I'm on a turn speech when they got the door broke. I'm a heartbreaker, never been heartbroken. Darth Vader, I can get dark, let it bark, turn it up and let it bark. Are they stupid? Are they man out, bro? Godfather, young De Niro, I could've killed him with my bare hands and done a Draco. Man tried violate like I'm a tomato. Man, I saying calm down me, I'm like nah, bro. I'm on a turn speech when they got the door broke. I'm a heartbreaker, never been heartbroken. Darth Vader, I can get dark, let it bark, turn it up and let it bark. Are they stupid? Are they stupid?
Yo, first of all, that bark is such a classic Bugzy ad-lib, yo.
Speech when they got the door broke. I'm a heartbreaker, never been heartbroken. Darth Vader, I can get dark, let it bark, turn it up and let it bark. Are they stupid? Are they stupid? It was all a dream, now I feel. And I need.
And that's one of the things that I love about incorporating vocal samples into beats. When they can incorporate what the vocal sample is saying into the actual bar and make it make sense.
Darth Vader, I can get dark, let it bark, turn it up and let it bark. Are they stupid? Are they stupid? It was all a dream, now I feel. And I needed a deal. Now I'm on a lead in the field. Yeah, that's me on the telly. B.I.G. Machiavelli.
Yes. Yo, this was everything I thought it was gonna be. And I already know Chip is about to violate.
Yeah, that's me on the telly.
I wonder what's the sample.
Niggas jumping out their prams going crazy. I'll be like, it's all good, baby. They wanna see me laid up.
And you know, it probably isn't on purpose, right? But the fact that he said pram, and for those of you who don't know, a pram is essentially a baby stroller, and he goes into the baby, and then goes right into the Notorious B.I.G. reference. Chip is a flipping genius. Chip is a genius.
Niggas jumping out their prams going crazy. I'll be like, it's all good, baby. They wanna see me laid out, bloody bleeding. Don't tell them that I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. Hallelujah when I'm squeezing, with the weed there. When the flows walk on water, tell me what's the deep end. See, it's time to show maturity and do it for the city. So me and B ain't ever going out like Pac and Biggie. Remember it was.
Yo, and it's crazy because that was actually the first thing I thought about. I thought about the beef between Biggie and Tupac and how there was a clip. I forgot who was. I believe it was Biggie. When he was talking about how Tupac died, he was saying like he would never wish death on anybody, etc., etc.
When he died, I was just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It kind of took me by. You know, even though we was going through our drama, I would never wish death on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no coming back from that.
That's exactly what this reminded me of, yo. Ah, I love it.
Hallelujah when I'm squeezing,
I love it.
With the weed there. When the flows walk on water, tell me what's the deep end. See, it's time to show maturity and do it for the city. So me and B ain't ever going out like Pac and Biggie. Remember it was R.I.P. me, I resurrected, I guess. Slip when I step, pen go slit at your neck. I was speaking to my dogs, Dr. Doolittle, just convincing them there's nothing they should do to you. A lot can change in 5 years. Me and Bugzy right here, it's been a decade and a half.
Oh my god, just saying this beat is getting a 10. But first of all, I'm just so excited and happy to hear that they were able to reference the beef within the song itself. Like, they could have just chosen to be like, listen, we're gonna put it in the captions or whatever. But the fact that they're also using the song as an opportunity to talk about the fact that they're squashing the beef and to show that maturity.
A step pen go slit at your neck, I was speaking to my dogs, Dr. Doolittle, just convincing them there's nothing they should do to you. A lot can change in 5 years, me and Bugzy right here. It's been a decade and a half, motherfucker, I'm here. Glorious son, notorious one. I told Bugzy I'll retire when I start losing my head. Are you stupid? My nigga, you stupid? It was all a dream, now I feel I never needed a deal, but I took one like, fuck how you feel.
This is making me genuinely happy. Just because of what this means, first of all, for the scene, right? And this is what this means musically. You're hearing this song in the midst of when drill is really what's thriving. The fact that this has no inkling of drill anywhere in it, and it still bangs.
Yeah, are you stupid? My nigga, you stupid? It was all a dream, now I feel I never needed a deal, but I took one like, fuck how you feel. Nigga independent getting money. Pussy, you ain't gully for the gully.
And the fact that it's about to slow down and build right back up again.
My nigga, you stupid? It was all a dream, now I feel I never needed a deal, but I took one like, fuck how you feel. Nigga independent getting money. Pussy, you ain't gully for the gully.
I want to reload it so badly, but I'm not going to. Those are the small things.
Nigga independent getting money.
The way that they use the ad-lib.
Are they stupid? Are they stupid? It was all a dream, now I feel back then I needed a deal. Now I'm on a lead in the field. Yeah, that's me on the telly.
And yo, these shots of them in the car,
Back then I needed a deal. Now I'm
cold.
on a lead in the field. Yeah, that's me on the telly. B.I.G. Machiavelli. Can't be no John Gray. Come with me. Hail Mary, drop a bomb 16. Make a go family.
Yo, and the intentional use of the B.I.G. and Tupac references. I'm just happy that they were also able to draw that parallel, because that was the very first thing that came to my mind as well. I love this, yo.
Looking at the Rolls Royce with a big plate freeze and the statue on the front. Now you mean, Bugzy Malone, cash motto. Yeah, man, I set in a pace they can't follow. Anything they say from now will sound hollow. And that's cause they're watching, man, we're on oboe.
Say that my watch me, then my pre me, then my chat me. Long before Twitter, man, were at me. Yeah, see it. Shippy, I don't need no one to back me. I was on the television when there wasn't flat screen. After ends, I'm hardly in the sea, boy. But can't deny what I done for my seat, boy. Come through in 2 chains on my team, boy. Youngins back then, now we the bigger boys.
Are they stupid? Are they stupid? It was all a dream, now I feel back then I needed a deal. Now I'm on a lead in the field. Yeah, that's me on the telly. B.I.G. Machiavelli. Can't be no John Gray.
So in this channel we hold the vowels. That means we're gonna get straight into it, and this one gets a 9.75. Let me explain. Now, keeping it 100 for all intents and purposes, if I was just listening to this song and giving it a rating just overall, it definitely would have gotten a 10 off rip, without a doubt. But the main reason why this one only got a 9 for the flow was just because they both stuck to their guns. Neither of them really diverted too far away from what we've already heard from them flow wise, but at the same time the flows that they chose just matched the beat so perfectly. This beat in general was just a masterpiece. The whole direction with it, incorporating that sample. I am actually looking forward to finding out if I can see where that sample is from. Using that sample to then tie into the lyrics as well, making it all just make so much sense. Everything about this one ties into having the perfect replay value. And that's honestly the most direct, succinct, and genuine review of this song that I can give in a nutshell. What made the beat on this one so good to me is the fact that it incorporated so many elements, but none of them overpowered each other. They all worked out completely in sync. There was so much synergy between the brightness of some aspects of the beat while also giving you the bounciness and the bass. Everything just worked so well. The biggest highlight of this one is definitely the lyricism, because the lyricism ties into my overarching sentiments about this song in general. What makes this one such a big deal to me, and if you don't know, now you know, is the fact that Chip and Bugzy, they were beefing, and that was some serious clashing going on between them. The bars that they were throwing at each other, everything about it, they did not let up. And even during that one period where Chip took a long time to reply, but then when he did decide to reply, he was just coming with it back to back to back. And every single song that came from both sides were heavy hitters. But the reason why it means so much to me to see these two on a track together is, one, they're lyrically just monsters. They're two artists who, they don't even have to talk grease, but somehow they just always find ways to constantly lift the bar from where they were last at with every single track. And we all know what Chip did with his disses to Stormzy. Those were some of his highest level of bars. And on top of that too, hearing the way Bugzy has been evolving as a musician, as an artist, all of that throughout the years, neither of them show any signs of letting up on their growth. So that correlation between their musical growth and their growth as people is what makes this track such a huge deal. Aside from the fact that it's just a sick tune, right? But also the fact that they were able to tie in all those references to Biggie and Pac, which, as I said during the reaction itself, that was the very first thing that came to my mind when I saw this one announced. And to be able to hear these two artists say, listen, we could put it aside, right? At the end of the day, one, it was just rap beef, right? Yeah, it was a little bit of interpersonal beef with regards to how they were talking about each other, but ultimately it was still within music. It wasn't like a lot of the beef that we see right now, where people are really talking about lives being lost. It's a lot deeper than that for some beef. But these two, the fact that they could put it aside, it just goes to show how much longevity they have as people and in their overall career. And what I suspect is probably one of the biggest driving forces for this collab is probably the fact that Bugzy really almost lost his life last year. Now, it's purely an assumption, but I really wouldn't doubt that both of these artists looked back at that situation and said, wow, if that was really the direction that his life really could have taken, what would have been the legacy that they left behind? The fact that they were beefing, and really the fact that they were beefing over music. So to see them put that aside, I can't say it enough, it is such a huge deal. This song has infinite replay value. I actually just can't wait to play this song over again, so I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm gonna let y'all go. Hang tight for some more reactions. I do got more of those coming for y'all, but until next time, peace.